Welcome back to Less Trauma Bond podcast, episode 11. Y'all, I just looked and realized it's episode 11, and that is so meaningful for me because ones have been very significant for me in general. So, okay, 11, come through, okay? Episode 11 in the first month of the year, 111, period. So, today, you guys, we're going to talk about discipline. And I'm most likely going to title this, You're Not Lazy, You Just Didn't Grow Up with Structure. So, how to be disciplined. So, y'all, I'm here to teach you how to be disciplined because I feel like a lot of people don't touch on some main points on how to be disciplined. They just say, just do it, be disciplined. Just tell yourself no, or just tell yourself you got to do it. If you could just do that, you would have been doing it. So I'm not a firm believer in discipline is just telling yourself no. There's a lot of things that go into discipline. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about discipline in the matters of food. Because you guys, if you're new here, I used to have a food addiction. And I don't think food addiction ever like goes away. So I went on a weight loss journey, you guys. I've lost over 158 pounds. And I've been maintaining that for almost 2 years. So I get a lot of questions on how do you stay disciplined? Also, I'm very consistent on YouTube now. People ask me, how do I stay consistent? Like, how am I disciplined enough to post 3 times a week? And how do I keep myself um, accountable to like stay on that schedule? And so, also, another form with discipline I'm going to be speaking on today, too, is about financial discipline, managing money, and telling yourself no when you want certain things. So, this is discipline all around. So, if you feel like you need discipline in your life, you need to watch this episode. And if you're new here to Less Trauma Bond, I always relate things back to trauma. And so, this is to help you understand, too, why you don't have discipline because you didn't have structure. Most people that grew up with structure, they have discipline, right? Most people that grew up with certain habits, they still have those habits. But a lot of people, especially African American people, don't really have a lot of structure growing up. Especially as African American women, a lot of the people that watch my channel are African American women. So let's talk about it. So first, I googled what is discipline because my definition of discipline is just pretty much keeping yourself accountable for what you say you're going to do or what you want. Making sure you align with what your goals are and align with what your mission is. But Google says the ability to control oneself and follow rules or orders. So the big key word there is control oneself. Because when we think about discipline, discipline is all about control. Okay? And control is being able to make decisions, right? And to be able to even tell yourself no when you want to feel like you want to tell yourself yes, okay? So, where I lacked discipline growing up, because I want to talk about where I lacked discipline, like how did I navigate those spaces. So, I really lacked discipline. I really lacked discipline, y'all, in food with food restriction, okay? I grew up and as a kid I was obese. I've been obese since I was about probably 8 to 10. 8 to 10, one of those age ranges. I didn't know how to limit myself. So if I wanted to eat the whole box of pizza, I could eat the whole box of pizza, right? At a young age. A big problem with that was obviously the parenting because my mother would let me eat a whole box of pizza, right? Or my mom was very busy. She had to work a lot of jobs. So we were then to make our own food, okay? Or we were then to eat a lot of processed foods that go in the microwave, like Hot Pockets. And I didn't eat a lot of oodles and noodles until I started going to my house, baby. My aunt would make you eat oodles and noodles to death, baby. She would make you eat chili in the can. That baby, you would be up in there chefing your own meals, okay? But my mama, she worked so much that she didn't really cook a lot. And she was really good at cooking because she was a cook at her job. But a lot of times we had to eat like frozen pizza or Hot Pockets or pizza rolls or whatever, so highly processed foods. And then I didn't have limits because there was no one to tell me, no, you can't have that. And then I would eat cereal, y'all. I would eat like 3 bowls of cereal as a child. I would eat a whole box of pizza as a child. Mind you, when I was 326 pounds, y'all, when I was 326 pounds as an adult, I couldn't even eat a whole pizza. So how was I doing that as a child? I have no clue, but I just did not have no food restriction. And whatever I wanted, I was able to get it. And if I asked my mom for something, I was able to get it. So there was no in my life. So some people may be experiencing that too. Like they grew up where they were always handed things, like you can have it. Like if you grew up as a spoiled brat, you bring that into your adult life and you think you deserve everything, which you do. But you also deserve to have some balance, have some discipline, and have some control. That keyword control, because you only should do what you can handle, right? And that could be if you're overeating, you should only be eating what you can handle when you feel that you are satisfied, not even full. When you feel that you're satisfied and you're not overly stuffed, like you should be in the middle of like satisfied and full. Like you should not be overexerting yourself. And it's also financially, right? You should only do what you are capable of doing. So if you're not a millionaire and you're not a rich person, you shouldn't be out here acting like a rich person and a millionaire. Like you can manifest. Don't get me wrong, you can manifest. You can not limit yourself, but just make sure you are living within your means. That was another thing that I had a problem with, you guys. So, the second thing is I had a lack of discipline with working out. So my eating habits was really bad since I was a kid till I got to an adult. So as I got to an adulthood, I would never tell myself no. So if I wanted to go in the morning to Starbucks and get me a sandwich and get me a frap, right there, that's 1,000 calories. I didn't care. It was probably 70 grams of sugar. I did not care. I wanted it, I'm gonna have it. Then if for lunch I wanted to go to Chipotle, I'm gonna have me a Chipotle bowl and I'm gonna eat the whole thing. And if I want a little cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, because I got a sweet tooth and I just want that specific cheesecake, baby, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get that cheesecake. Okay. That was my problem. Like, I had a real bad problem with eating out. So you have to understand what is your problem. That's a big thing about getting discipline is literally write down what do you need to be more disciplined with. And what is your problem? Like, what is holding you back? And what are some things that you really need to work on? The next thing is working out. Yeah, I used to work out all the like not all the time, but I had tried to attempt to work out so many times to lose weight. So when I was younger, I would work out, do some home workouts because I really didn't have a gym membership. Then I would go get gym memberships, but then like I wouldn't go to the gym. I was paying for Lifetime, didn't never go to Lifetime. It was expensive. Then when I got older and I really took my weight loss journey serious, I would go to the gym, but then I would go 1 week and then I won't go the next week, or I'll go for a whole month and then I'll just disappear for 3 months to a year. Like what? Baby, what is you doing? Oh, why is you here? Because you're playing games, getting them field, getting the field, okay, y'all? So that was a big thing. I didn't keep myself on a schedule and a routine for working out. I didn't keep myself accountable. If I didn't feel like doing it, I wouldn't do it. And there's a really a saying about don't work off of how you feel or like feeling motivated. Work off of you're chasing a goal. You're chasing um an accomplishment. I don't feel like it today, but I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to have a tight body. I want to be able to run up the stairs. Like this is the type of stuff you got to tell yourself because you're gonna not feel like it. It's gonna be a lot of days you just don't feel like it. Cause life be life. I don't even feel like doing life in general sometimes. Like, bro, another day? That sounds crazy. But I'm like, baby, I gotta go to work again. What's going on? What's going on? Take me to the life where I'm a queen, a goddess, that I ain't gotta lift a finger. But this is real life, okay? And we gotta do some things we don't want to do. And that is reality, right? So the next thing is spending habits, y'all. I had a bad problem with discipline with spending habits. What I notice is if you have bad discipline in one area, you usually have bad discipline in multiple areas of your life. Usually if you have a eating habit problem where you can't be disciplined with your food, you can't be disciplined with working out, you can't be disciplined with your health. Usually you have other discipline areas where you need to like straighten up and tighten up. And for me, it was spending habits. I used to spend money like I was Kim K. Baby, I truthfully believed I was Kim K, baby. If I wanted, I got it, baby. If I wanted some Balenciagas, go to the store, got them. If I want that Louis Vuitton, I go to the Louis Vuitton store and go get it. Baby, You're 20, 21, 23. What is you doing, baby? Like, you are not a millionaire, babes. You're not even a six-figure, okay, baby? Sit your behind down and think about what is important. And I think that's another thing is when it comes to discipline, is thinking about what is actually important. Like, all the stuff we see on the internet and stuff is really not important. Okay. When it comes to the designer, when it comes to the type of car, when it comes to even the type of body, because mind you, I lost 158 pounds, but I also have loose skin. So your body is not going to exactly look like the freaking model on the TV screen or the Instagram model or all those type of things you see on social media. And you have to look beyond what the visual is going to be, or what is the superficial aspect behind why you want discipline, and look on how is it going to fill you up emotionally. Like, how is it going to fill your cup? Like, with me getting healthier, like, it made me happier. It made me want to experience more things in life. It made me have the chance to do more activities. It's giving me better opportunities. There's a lot of things outside of, oh my God, I look good. It's not about what you look like, it's about how you feel. And when you don't have discipline, it shows about how you feel about yourself. Because that means that you don't love yourself. You cannot show up for yourself. And if you are even dating somebody in general, right? And you're asking them to pour into you, do this for you, do that for you, text you consistently, whatever. If you're asking your partner to be consistent with you and you can't even show up consistently for yourself, that is a problem. And that means, honestly, I don't think you're ready for a relationship, because I feel like you need to build a better relationship with yourself. And you will then look for people. This is a whole nother thing, but you would then look for people that are going to make you feel good. But really, you got to learn how to make you feel good. So, another thing I lacked discipline in was telling people no. Like, telling people no and like standing up for myself. I would literally almost create my own demise. Like, if I didn't have a lot of money and I paid all my bills, but I just have a little left over, which would have been good for me to be able to live, do some things, whatever, enjoy my freedom. If someone was to ask me, like, hey, can I borrow this amount of money? And it was only the amount of money that I have in my bank account is the same amount of money they asked for, I would give them that amount of money. And then I will suffer for like a week or two until I got paid again. It was nonsense. I didn't have discipline and be like, no, like, this is your 20th time asking me, like, no more. Like, I didn't have that in me. I'd be like, oh, well, they really need it. Like, I'm okay. My bills are paid. This is this is this. But you don't have no boundaries. You don't have no discipline of like, no, like, this is where it stops. Like, you don't know how to say no. And that's a big part about discipline in general, is not being able to say no. But we're going to break down how does routine help you to say no. Because people just like, get some discipline. Say no. If you want that piece of cake, don't eat it. Like, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it, right? So, y'all, this is going into that now. Discipline is not just saying no, okay? Routine. So I wrote some words that I felt like was coming to me spiritually, like what words stuck out. So routine is one. So some ways that I created routine for myself was having strict minimums. So make sure you have minimums. What does that mean? So I can only eat out once a week. So that's a maximum. So maximally, I can only eat out once a week, right? And then if it's a celebrational week where I'm hanging out with a lot of people, I give myself two times. So actually, let's rotate that, y'all. And I'm not editing no podcast. Just not doing it. We're gonna rotate it. So minimally, I eat out once a week. Maximally, I will not eat out more than twice. And I really, really try not to eat out twice. I feel like this last week is the only time I've ate out twice. And that's because it's been the most social week I've had of my life. And actually, it technically was once, because me and my friend ate out yesterday. And then I took myself on a date the week before. Technically, it was actually only once a week. But that's how I align it, is literally minimum once, maximum twice. And that is like a cheat item. So if I'm going to go out to eat, then that's my cheat item. If I want a piece of cake and I don't want to go out to eat, but I want to go get a slice of piece of cake, that's a cheat item. So two cheat items a week. That's how I do it. And it also helps me too to enjoy my moments, right? Because you need flexibility in your discipline. Because now when I go out to eat, I don't feel like, oh, I gotta order a salad. I can't drink no liquor. Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I gotta get a salmon. No, because I am on top of my diet during the whole week and I eat healthy at home. I only eat out once a week. So I'm gonna have what I want when I eat out once a week. Now, does that mean that you pig out to the point where it's like you messed up your whole week? No. This is the one thing I tell people, especially if you're trying to lose weight. For me, I had VSG. I had weight loss surgery. But people don't understand about it is you have to maintain it. And so that's why people ask me like, how do you stay disciplined? Because literally after about a year, some people start gaining a lot of weight, honestly. And then after 2 years, people tend to start gaining a ton of weight if they have not worked on their discipline and their habits. Because tools are only just merely tools, right? So if you don't have a tool at all, right? And let's say you eat, you said it's a cheat day, baby. It's not even you just going to that one place. You're going to go to 3 places in one day. Like you're going to destroy your whole week of working out. So literally having maximums and minimums. Another thing is I tell myself I have a minimum of 3 days working out in the gym or going to workout classes. I have to make it 3 days a week. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. When you start making yourself, you tell yourself, I don't have a choice. I have to get this done this amount of times a week. That is what keeps you on track. That gives you a routine, okay? It doesn't always have to be the same days. If it's better for you to make it the same days, do that. Make sure you guys are writing this down because you need minimums and you need to tell yourself, I have no choice. I have no choice. Just like when you gotta go to work, you ain't got no choice. You gotta wake up, you gotta go to work. So for me, I try to like keep for sure one workout Friday because I feel like Friday then I won't have to work out the weekend because I used to work out on the weekend. It would be annoying because by Monday I wouldn't want to work out because I don't work out on Sunday. And Monday for me, I always work out on Mondays because if I slip on Monday, I feel like I slip on the rest of the week. I don't know why, but that's how I do it. Like I for sure like to work out Mondays. I like to work out Fridays, and then whatever is in between will be my third day. Like if I want to do Wednesday, if I want to do Tuesday, if I want to do Thursday, that's up to me. So that's how I do it. Some people might be like, "Girl, are you a psychopath?" No, babes. I'm just organized for my life. Like I'm not organized in any other means necessary because I'm very creative. But when it comes to my discipline, I have to be organized. When it comes to my health, so that's a big thing, you guys is routine. Another thing is having a routine day for like when you're gonna cook. So for me personally, I like to cook one meal for the whole week. So I like to cook like usually dinner or lunch, probably lunch, because if I'm in office, I would probably prefer to cook lunch. So what I would do is cook lunch for every day of the week, right? And then I will cook my dinner as like a quick air fryer meal. So that could be like a flatbread pizza that I make out of pita bread and cheese and turkey pepperoni or low carb tortilla, or it could be like me literally making like gluten-free nuggets lightly breaded with sweet potato fries, or it could be like me like throwing anything that's like quick in the air fryer basically, okay? That's how I would do it. And then my breakfast is always quick. I always do yogurt with fruit and granola, okay? So my two meals are very quick and easy, and then the one meal that's like really nutrition dense is going to be the one that I cook for the whole week. So like last week I cooked broccoli with chicken and a low calorie Alfredo sauce, and it was pretty much like a low carb Alfredo pasta without pasta noodles. Really good. Made sure I got vegetables for the day and make sure I got fruit for the day, whatever. So making sure you have a structure and routine, and it is also realistic because I know people be like, I want to meal prep for the whole week, every single meal. That's a lot of work, baby. I just know that I can't continue with that for the rest of my life. I also like to do disciplined things that I can continue for the rest of my life. That's another big thing is stop going to extremes. If you're trying to build discipline, try small things. So like if you don't ever make it to the gym at all, don't say, okay, next week I'm going to go to the gym 3 times in a week. Oh, I'm going to go to the gym every day of the week. You don't even go to the gym once. Baby, what are you doing? Like, hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put my pips in it. Wait a minute. What? A minute, okay? Girl, just say, I'm going to work on going to the gym once a week for at least a month. Because they say about 3 weeks it takes to build a habit. I do believe 3 weeks takes to build a habit, but you can really slip off a habit still after 3 weeks. So you got to keep doing it. So you got to do something that even after that 3 weeks, you can keep doing. So then after 3 weeks of doing workout once a week, then you can bump it up the next month to twice a week. You know what I mean? And then you can build it up. Let's stop. Let's stop with the unrealistic stuff because then you're just not going to want to do it at all. So also that can happen too with spending, like, so if you know that, let's say, you spend a lot of money on clothes, don't just say, oh no, I'm never going to buy clothes again, like, I'm done shopping, I'm gonna save money. No, lower your budget for shopping. Like, okay, well, go look over your statements. I usually spend like $500 a month on shopping. Let me bring it down to like $400 a month, and then slowly and slowly bring it up down. Okay. So that's the biggest thing people don't understand is you have to slowly make shifts and changes, and that's going to give you that long-term result, okay? And that's how when people ask me, "How do you maintain your weight? Like how are you so good?" It's because I took small steps, y'all. When I first had surgery, before I had surgery, y'all, I was eating out every single day for every single meal. I had a nutritionist. She told me, "How about you now start instead of eating out 3 times in a day, start eating out one time every day." Every day you can eat out one time. Okay, boom. You eat out one time every day. You love Chipotle. Now let's try to start splitting your bowl. So half your bowl you eat that day, and then the other half you eat it the next day. So essentially, we're cutting down how much I'm eating in that day. I'm technically eating half of the out to eat meal every day. And then now we're gonna stop doing that every day, and you're gonna only be able to eat out 3 times a week. So slowly, and then that really helped me get out of the mindset of being so addicted to fast food. And then once I had got out of surgery, I started not liking fast food. After I went on a fast, which fasting is really good for discipline as well. It's really good for spiritual reasons as well. No matter what religion you are, or if you don't believe in religion, like either way, like fasting is really good for you because it kind of resets your mind, gets you focused, gets you disciplined because you got to tell yourself no, makes you understand how hyper focused you can be on food and things like that, and also helps you like balance out your appetite and your taste buds because after I fast, I started after I went back to fast food after not having it for so long, I was like, this is nasty. This is actually not good. I'm obviously addicted to it before. So that's why it tastes better than it actually is. So, yes, and then schedule, making sure you have a schedule. So, like for me, I like to cook usually on a Monday or usually on a Sunday because I work from home on Mondays, and then Sundays, obviously, I'm off and I can prep for the week. So I like to do that so I'm prepared for the week. Okay. Even having a schedule for like YouTube, being consistent with YouTube. Now I told my subscribers, hey, I'm gonna post every Monday, every Friday. So now that I told everybody, put it out in the universe, now I feel like, oh, I have to get this done Monday, Friday. That's the minimum at least. So I post 3 days a week. In my head, I already tell myself, you got to post 3 days a week. But I tell them Monday, Friday, right? So I know for sure my minimum is 2 days a week, my maximum 3 times a week. You gotta always have a minimum maximum. That's realistic. So making sure you have a schedule and you staying on it. Even if you gotta stay up all night. Literally, if you say, okay, my schedule is Monday, Friday for upload, even if you gotta be literally making a video on Sunday and editing on Sunday and then dropping it on Sunday at 10 o'clock at night or not 10 o'clock at night because it'd be for Monday. Even if you have to literally edit at 10 o'clock at night and get it up for Monday morning, then you can do that. Or even if it's Monday, the actual day on Monday, and you didn't get that video done, you better go ahead and record that video on Monday and edit it on Monday and drop it before midnight. Because this is your word and you need to stick to your word when it comes to yourself. Just like you feel like people need to follow up on their word and they don't need to be giving you broken promises, you need to do that for yourself as well. So that's number one. Goals. Being clear and concise with your goals. I'm trying to do better. Like I write my goals down, but my problem is I'll write stuff down and I'll never go back and look at it. Apparently that could be a form of ADHD, but I don't know. I don't diagnose myself with a lot of things. But I write stuff down. I have it in my head, but I don't like revisit it a lot until I've accomplished it, which is weird. But I think writing in general helps you process things and also like makes you remember it more. So making sure you write down your goals and understanding what you really want for your life. How do you see your life? Y'all, I went back to look at some of my manifestations on how I see my life. And one of the manifestations I can say that here is like my podcast doing well, people liking my podcast. And mind you, I looked at this about 3 weeks ago because it's my third podcast episode since then. And I'm like, okay, I want my podcast to be big, but I'm not even posting I'm not posting my podcast like, oh, like I didn't get the views that I wanted, so I'm done posting it kind of mindset. And it's like, how is your podcast supposed to help people? Because the whole point of it is to help people through trauma. How are you gonna do that if you're not posting? So you need discipline. You need to be aligned with what you want to manifest. Like if you want this, let's say a six-figure job, if you ain't applying for no jobs and you don't got no schedule how many times a week you gonna apply for jobs, how you gonna get that job? Like you don't make sense. You don't align with what the manifestations you're trying to create. Because they do say faith without works is dead. It's nothing. So if you ain't doing nothing, how are you supposed to accomplish it? Like I do think things happen without you doing things. I've gotten jobs without doing a single thing. Like but being myself without even applying. So I do think things supernaturally happen. I've seen it. It has happened to me. But you have to want it. You have to fight for it. When the opportunity arises, you got to also be on top of it. That's work. So also determination is the next word that comes up. So you have to be determined towards what you want. I see a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to lose weight. Oh, I want to unbig my back. I want to unbig my back. My back too big." But they ain't doing nothing. Okay? They ain't doing nothing. And they'll sit up here and judge people that are on Ozempic. They'll judge people for weight loss surgery. They'll judge people for everything in the book. But you're not doing anything to improve your situation. It is 2025. There's way too many tools to sit here and say, I want to, I want. You don't want nothing but to run your mouth. Because if you want to, you get in that field. So, next thing I want to talk about is drive. Having drive literally just means another word for feeling like motivated. But drive is what like pushes you to go, right? So having drive and your goals will help with that because you are going to be driven because of the goals that you want to accomplish. So having drive and knowing that this is not a race, okay? This is not a race, and instead it's a marathon. So you have time, and everything that's good takes time. And I had to learn that, like things that you want to rush overnight, it's just never sustainable. Like when you get something overnight, you don't even know how to handle it. Like, so take time. Always aim for longer time periods. I think even when it comes to weight loss, a lot of people are like, oh my God, like in 3 months, I want to lose 30 pounds. Like it'd be like crazy stuff. And it's like, girl, most people that lose weight, it takes them a year to like see a major change. And then it usually takes them over a year to like see a drastic change. So stop thinking in a short term mindset and start thinking in a long term mindset and start understanding that everything's going to take time. And even when you hit your goal, sometimes that is not good enough for you. Sometimes when you're always, there's this saying like, if you always are setting the bar, you never get to see how much you achieved. And that's one problem for me. Like, okay, well, I lost all this weight, or I've already got monetized on YouTube. What's next? Like, oh, I want to do this now. Like, I want to do that. Like, and it's like we need to actually enjoy the moments and understand how hard it was to get there. Take our time and not to rush things, not to rush success, not to rush results, and things like that. And also making sure you keep yourself accountable. That's a big word that came to me was accountability. And checking yourself when you know you're wrong, right? Because I think a lot of people don't have accountability and they just let things slide because it's them. Like, but if you know that you just been eating crazy or you just been spending crazy or you just ain't been showing up consistently, but you keep saying you want things to happen, you got to keep yourself accountable. If that is, I know with my client, what I have her do is like if she goes out to eat, because I am a certified weight loss coach, I am not taking new clients right now. I'm not. But I told her like if she eats out more than twice in a week, which is her maximum, she needs to pay herself $30. So she has an accountability jar that she pays herself with. Or you can take something away from yourself. Like if you really love, let's say TikTok, because we been going crazy over TikTok, we going psycho, okay? Let's say you love TikTok, but you ain't make it to the gym at all this week. No TikTok for you for the whole week. Like you gotta start like making yourself feel accountable, right? Holding yourself accountable. If you can't just naturally hold yourself accountable, you need to take certain things away. You just do. Or oh no, I'm not gonna, if I don't hit my minimum of days cooking, then I'm not going to be able to eat out this week or something. Whatever you can keep yourself accountable, that is the way you need to. And then now getting into the more trauma aspect of things and structure, a lot of times in black households, there is not a lot of structure. You don't usually, some of them don't even have bedtimes. I don't even remember like being a kid, of course, when it's dark, okay, time for bed. But I didn't have a specific time. Like, okay, 9 o'clock is bedtime. It's 9 o'clock. Go to bed. No. Or structure is like, okay, breakfast starts 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm cooking you breakfast, and you're gonna get on the bus. Let me help you get ready. Like that wasn't how it was. And I think that's also what creates hyper independence in the black community, especially for women, because young girls are always pushed a little bit harder, pushed to be more self sufficient, a little bit more independent. So I never had structure in the fact of like, this is the time you wake up, this is the time you eat breakfast, this is the time you go off to the bus. I never knew anything about time. And that's probably actually a good thing to think about because I'm always late. Baby, I cannot be on time for shit. I cannot be on time for shit. But actually, I've been doing good now, y'all, because I've been going to workout classes through ClassPass, and they don't play that shit. Okay, if you don't make it, you literally gotta pay a cancellation fee. Okay, and I don't like to be spending unnecessary money, so I make it there early. But that's the only thing I make it early. I do not make it early to work. The only thing I make it early to maybe is interviews, but I never had a concept of time, and that might be why. Or like if somebody was babysitting me, it wasn't like, okay, it's 3 o'clock. You just got off the bus for school. Now let's go over and do your homework. Like it was no structure in that way. So like getting yourself structured when you never had structure is very hard. If you could just be willy nilly, eat whenever you want, do your homework whenever you want, then it's very hard to keep yourself on track when you get older. To be like, no, it's not just about what you want; it's about what you need. Also, growing up, I know I went on a date with a guy and he told me that because I was telling him about how much I care about health and like how I lost 158, I lost a lot of weight. And he told me that, oh, like when I talk about my weight loss, I just glow. And it's like I'm so happy. And like when I talk about fitness and stuff like that, he really likes that because he feels that a lot of black women don't really care about health and fitness. He has not met a lot of white, or no, wait, he has not met a lot of black women like that, right? So I'm like, like it took me aback. Like it ain't really like a lot of black women like that. And then when I thought about it a little bit deeper, is of course because oppression, right? We were not raised to have the good sources of food. We were raised to eat like pork and eat the lowest grades of meat and have the expired food. We were systematically put in these places to not thrive, right? And if you think about it, I had to think about that because when I go to ClassPass and stuff like that, and I see the girlies that's in these workout classes, they're all white. They're all white. Even the men are white. And I'm always the only black person there. Now, mind you, I live in Minnesota, okay? But it's still like I see black people going that live here in Minnesota going to like Planet Fitness. I see them going to like sometimes Pilates and stuff like that, but I don't see them in the hit classes. I don't see them in strength classes. I don't see them in like the run and the cycling class. I don't see them. And so when he said that, it made a lot of sense to me because a lot of black people don't care about their health. Like a lot of black people have high blood pressure and diabetes. A lot of black people don't want to try new foods because they feel like, oh, it's gross. Oh no, that's not. My mom growing up, she would never want to try nothing. Like she didn't like broccoli, she didn't like mushrooms, she didn't like, and then that caused also me to be like that. Like, oh, I used to not eat onions. I hated onions so bad, real bad. I was really interrupted by my dog and her barking. But anyways, it made me really a picky eater, not want to try vegetables, not want to try half the fruits I never had besides like watermelon and maybe strawberries and maybe little apples, but I never had nothing like out of the ordinary, right? Because that wasn't how my mom was. And now I see my cousin and how my cousin raises my goddaughter. She has her eating healthy snacks, healthy vegetables, have healthy fruits. Obviously, they're tasty things still, but she's opening her eyes to like this variety of food that I never had the resources to. Like my family, mind you, too, my mom worked like three jobs. Could she even afford that type of food? I have no clue. But my mom also didn't have the knowledge on that type of food. So that's a lot of big thing is like the oppression. So we get so used to like eating fast food, eating junk food, eating sugary stuff, eating a lot of salty things. That we understand that like this is a rewiring our brain moment. This is not just about saying no. This is about learning. A lot of things are free down the internet, Googling for different food types, watching YouTube videos on different snacks. Like now we're in 2025 where there's like a snack substitute for everything. And of course, it's still processed, but it's better than eating hot Cheetos, okay? It's better than eating Skittles, and it's better than eating freaking Oreo cookies. So it's not gonna always be perfect, and nobody can be perfect because you have to do something you can keep up with. This is what I tell people. And I did get a comment the other day of like, how do you just keep yourself practically accountable? And I just said, hey, I always remember where I started from. I always remember that I used to be big, okay? And my experiences as a big person, I know till I got smaller, but I had a low quality of life. I couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't go upstairs without breathing heavy, couldn't ride the airplane without a seatbelt extender. I didn't have as many opportunities. People made me feel invisible, small. Um, I wasn't happy. I was very depressed. Didn't know I was depressed until I got out of it, and I'm so happy now. And I have bad moments. Don't get me wrong, life be kicking my ass with a fucking with like life is a bitch that been taking kickboxing for real, bitch. She taking me the fuck in and out, but it's all right because I'm happy like internally as a soul. I don't know how to explain. Like I felt like when I started caring about my health, I started to like soul search. Like I started to find my happiness within myself, and then I stopped finding happiness through items, like materialistic things. I started stop finding happiness within food. Once I found my inner happiness, I stopped seeking happiness through material things. And I started seeking happiness within me. Happiness within me is art. I love writing poetry, that makes me happy. I love reading self-help books, that makes me happy. I love listening to music, that makes me happy. I love working out, that makes me happy. I love traveling, that makes me happy. So experiences is what makes me happy. Not food, not shopping, not the newest this, that. I ain't gonna lie, shopping still made me happy. I ain't gonna lie. The other day I went shopping, but I went thrifting. Y'all can go watch that vlog. That vlog is already up. I took myself thrifting and I got this thrifting. This is free people. $25 free people. This is $200 at the store probably. You better go get you one of these. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went crazy in that thrift store and I got so many cute items. And I went back to thinking like, okay, this Juana is not about the materialistic thing. When I'm shopping here, it's about my passion for fashion. Y'all, I went to school. My undergrad is in fashion merchandising. So I've always loved fashion. So that brought me back to my inner gift, my inner creativity of like putting looks together and creating my own personality through my outfits, being different. I always love being different. But with all that being said is when you grew up in such like a chaotic household, like for me, even like I had a lot of trauma growing up, so it was like a lot of yelling at my house, a lot of fighting at my house. There was a lot of inconsistency in my life. So if you grew up with a lot of inconsistencies, you start to implement that in your life because that is what feels comfortable to you, or you feel like you have to be stressed, or you feel like you have to, your nervous system has to be activated. And so now it's taking back your power of like, how can I live more in peace? And actually, peace is more about planning and it's more about small steps that won't stress you out. When you have to look at the big picture and get overwhelmed and trying to like rush to something, rush to success, or rush to fix something, or rush to make your life better, or rush to get skinny, or rush to get rich, all these things, you get very tired. and then you give up. And so taking your time, I understand it's not a rush, setting minimums, setting maximums, having goals, keeping yourself accountable, telling yourself, I have to. Not what I want to do. I have to do this because of this outcome. I have to do this. And for workouts, y'all, I'm telling you right now, I should have ClassPass freaking sponsor me because baby, you should at this point. They didn't sponsor me, but ClassPass keeps me motivated to get my ass to class because I don't want to pay a fee. And you only got 12 hours to cancel. And most times when I book my classes the day before. So I gotta get to that class. I ain't gonna lie, today I canceled my class because it was negative 18 degrees out. And my car almost died yesterday. My car was on 15%. I got an electric car, y'all. So I said, if I take this car to this class, I might not make my ass back home. So let me not be cheap for my $14. Cause baby, $14 to me. I said, babe, I could use that $14 for something else. But I said, let me stop being cheap. But y'all have to understand discipline is more than saying no. Build a routine, write your goals, and keep yourself accountable. Slow and steady wins the race. And everybody say that it's cliche, but just because you don't see results doesn't mean it's not happening. And a big thing with weight loss, because a lot of this is really about weight loss, but a big thing with weight loss is also measuring yourself for inches instead of always weight. And also always focusing on one thing at a time. So with discipline, it's good to focus on one thing at a time so you actually can become disciplined. It, like I said before, if you're looking at the big picture, you're gonna get stressed, you're gonna get overwhelmed, and you're gonna get tired. So if you're really bad at your eating habits, don't go to the gym first. Focus on how do I eat better. So how do I change small changes in my eating habits? Master that. Once you master that, then now it's time for the gym. Master that. Now once you got that, you got everything that you need to be healthy. Okay? You don't need to do everything at once, especially if you want it to last forever. For me, I want mine to last forever, y'all. And so that's why I am maintaining is because I want it to last forever and I cannot let other people's ideas affect my mind. I've always had a mindset like, oh, baby, you can do it. You can maintain it. Baby, before I had my surgery, I kept saying, I'm going to be skinny. I'm about to be skinny. I'm about to be skinny. And it's not because I really want to be skinny. I didn't even know what skinny meant, baby. I was 326 pounds. Anything was skinny to me. 250 was skinny to me, y'all. I wanted to be 250 so bad. Now I don't want to be 250. No, nothing against people that's 250, but like now I don't want to be 250. But back then that was a dream for me because I was 326 pounds. So I just kept saying to myself, I'm gonna be skinny. I'm gonna be skinny. I didn't know what the hell I was saying, but I got small. I'm not skinny now. To some people, I'm skinny, but like I got smaller than most. And I was like, oh, I really manifest my mind and my thoughts. We really manifest what we think. So if we think we can't do it, if we think it's too hard, or we think it ain't gonna never happen, it ain't gonna never happen. It's okay to have like those hitting little creep feelings. We all are humans where we're like, oh dang, I really thought this was happening, but it's not happening the way that I thought it was gonna happen. It's slower than I thought it was. But it's going to take time and it's going to happen. So thank you guys for watching the podcast. I'll see you guys in the next episode.